You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Portis versus Middlebrooks.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Mr. Portis, you and your mother have petitioned the court for a DNA test because you are certain you are not the father of the defendant's daughter, Ava.
Correct.
You say your life has been ruined and need today's paternity results to set the record straight. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Middlebrooks, you say you are tired of the plaintiff's paternity denial, and you and your aunt claim he better step up once these results prove he's Ava's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Portis, explain to the court why today's results are so important.
This started about 2 years ago. I started paying child support, $75 for this baby, and I never knew if she was mine or not. We never took a DNA test. We tried to, but it didn't go through.
Don't you have to get a DNA before you can be put on child support?
We went
You
together.
didn't show up to court twice.
It was once.
So hold on. You paying child support for this baby?
Yes. Thousands of dollars.
But you say you've never had a DNA test.
No.
And that's because you had a court date.
And he missed. He
And you
missed the court date.
So you were named
And
the
they
father by
established
default.
paternity. Yes.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
True.
But after that happened, we had tried to get it all situated out by trying to get 2 tests done with this court.
I can actually look in my court records and see you had a court date on my docket for last year. Ms. Middlebrooks didn't show up.
No.
Right, because I prefer to do this outside of this. Why do we have to come here for him to finally do a DNA
I went to get
test?
swabbed. I did the whole
So-
thing that I was supposed to do, but she didn't do it.
Why couldn't we do it outside of here?
So tell me about the nature of your relationship with Mr. Portis. Were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
We started talking first and then eventually started dating. It happened fast. So.
At what point did you find out you were pregnant?
A few months later.
But when she got pregnant, we stopped talking. So like we weren't talking at the time that she got pregnant. Like we weren't talking. But when after the fact that she got pregnant, she had hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant and be prepared."
We were definitely together. We were definitely together.
No,
I called you after I got the text.
No, we weren't because I found out that she had another boyfriend.
Okay, wait. How did you find out she had another boyfriend?
Because I looked on her Facebook and I seen her with this dude, and I'm like, "Who is this?" And then she like, "Somebody I used to talk to." But he was still in the picture.
How did you know that?
Because of, after she got pregnant, a letter she sent them.
Wait a minute.
I sent the guy a letter telling him that I was pregnant, letting him know what was going on.
Hold on, wait a minute. This is exactly why young people don't have no business making babies.
I agree.
You can't even tell the story to make no sense.
Right.
Miss Middlebrooks, what was your relationship with this other guy?
We were dating.
When?
Before Brian Portis.
So you dated him before you dated Mr. Portis?
Yes.
But when you met
And
Mr.
then he went away and we broke up.
He went away, you all broke up, then you started dating Mr. Portis?
Yes.
How soon after you and Mr. Portis started dating did you find out you were pregnant?
A month or two later.
A month?
A month or two
Your
later.
Honor, Your Honor, I took her to the hospital. She found out she was like a month pregnant. The other guy that they talking about, a letter did go out to him, and she told him that she was pregnant, and he's not the father. We didn't know anything about this guy here. We only knew about the other guy at the time.
But wait, Miss Middlebrooks, you knew about this guy, Mr. Portis, right?
Yeah.
So why was your first instinct to send a letter to the guy that was away?
When I found out I was pregnant, I called him. We pretty much, he was distant after he had found out.
When was there a relationship? I mean, when were they?
Did I have intercourse with you? Were I with you? No, I didn't think so. Well, nobody talking to you.
So
I'm talking to you.
Well, I ain't talking to you.
But as a grown woman,
hold on,
ladies. Disrespecting my mom.
Ladies.
I'm not talking
That's
to you
why
right now.
That's why we don't talk to you, so we don't like you, bro.
Ladies, Mr. Portis, tell me how you found out Ms. Middlebrooks was pregnant.
She had told me.
What was your response?
I didn't really believe her at first, honestly.
Why do you think she'd lie?
I don't know.
Unfold your arms.
I don't know, Your Honor. I don't know why she would lie. I didn't believe it at the time.
Now take them out your pocket. So you didn't believe it?
No.
When did it become real?
Well, I pulled up to her. I pulled up to her house one day, and I saw that she had a little bump, so I knew it was real.
Oh, so wait.
You don't show at a month or two like that soon.
No, but what I want to understand is, were you at the birth, Mr. Portis?
No, I was not, Your Honor.
He had the opportunity to, but he wanted nothing to do with her.
Did you go to doctor's appointments?
No. He had nothing to do with the pregnancy.
She wasn't communicating with my family at all. She wasn't talking to us or nothing like that. Every time she would talk to us, she would be disrespectful.
Or any of that. She was not even talking to my son.
That's the only time she would talk to us.
Wow.
She would be disrespectful.
Who was with you
Texting my
at
mom.
the birth? Hold on. Who was with you at the birth?
My ex was. He stepped up.
Oh, wait.
But she wasn't messing with the ex, though.
Yes. When I had her, yes, he was there.
So he was away, and then by the time you had the baby, he was home.
Yes.
And he was at the hospital.
Yes.
But you gave
And you
my son
say
an
he
opportunity.
stepped up.
Yes.
What?
But
Your son wanted nothing to do with me
holding
or
her
the pregnancy.
and all that.
You do not know. You're not your son. I'm not
in your
communicating with
business.
you. I'm communicating with your son.
I'm his mom, though.
You not being truthful.
Right. Be honest.
Be
Tell
honest.
the truth.
What is she not being? Hold on.
You covered your son ass.
Let's get some order.
Actual cases.
Her car had come through and slammed me up against the toolbox.
There was a torpedo coming at my face.
Personal injury court cases everyone's going to be talking about.
Miss Middlebrooks,
Disrespectful.
I realize that you may not agree with Miss Trent, but you have to understand that when you are dealing with someone who's your elder, right or wrong, just keep your mouth shut.
That doesn't give her.
Hold on. I am going to be very clear. I have not heard her speak badly about you, and if she does, I will correct her as well. You all can disagree on the points, but let's not go there. You're a young girl with a beautiful new baby, and we're here to support that baby and you. Because if we don't get this answer, your child will always live in limbo, not knowing who her father is.
Right.
And it's best we resolve it. And I know. That's why when young girls start popping off like that, I know it's just coming from a place of pain. You're hurt, scared, disappointed, a whole bunch of things. Just be that. This courtroom is about truth, so when you come into this courtroom, just be in your truth. Mr. Portis, what I want to know is your truth. Why did you shrug this off? Why didn't you go to any doctor's appointments? Why weren't you there at the birth? Why?
Her ex that she was dealing with had contacted me on Facebook.
Okay. And what did he say? Now I'm starting to understand what's happening here. What happened?
He was basically saying like, yo, Bryant, Jasmine, does she have you on child support and stuff like that? And I'm like, yeah, she does. She's been having me on child support. He was like, well, that's crazy because I'm taking care of her too. So it's just like an imbalance here.
Okay, so see, this is what I need to know. Y'all done waited all this time to come in here and act like you can't say nothing.
He was in her life, like he was there, like holding her and, you know what I'm saying, having a relationship with her.
But you were the one on child
paying
support.
the child support.
Miss Middlebrooks, I want to come to you, to your aunt. When your niece found out she was pregnant,
Yes.
who did she tell you the father was?
At the time, the only person I knew was the ex.
No, I didn't ask that. That's not what I asked. Who did she say the father was?
She said the ex.
Okay, I already knew that.
Son.
I said the ex.
But I thought it was my son all
No,
along.
hold on.
Now you really
Hold on.
like that?
I could tell by the way you were telling that story that you were trying to be evasive about something.
But
Hold on, don't do the
100%
but
truthful.
yet. All I'm saying is, this is what we need to know so we understand why this paternity question even exists. So when you asked her who the child's father is, she told you the ex.
all of us, we known was just the ex.
Was there some point where you told Mr. Portis that he was not the biological father?
No, I never told him he was not the dad, ever.
Did she ever tell you you were not the dad, Mr. Portis?
Yes, Your Honor. She told me that I wasn't the biological father. She told me to stay out their life. Don't talk to her. Don't be in
I
Ava's
told
life.
you
Don't
if
do
you're
none
gonna
of
jump
that.
in and out,
So,
you might as well stay away.
therefore,
When have
I
you
stopped talking to
been
them.
able
I
to
don't
be
talk to
in her
them. I
life?
don't do none of that.
You've never even brought the baby around.
Your Honor,
But she still wanted my ching-ching from me.
Your Honor, this is the thing.
$60 every 2 weeks.
But what I know, hold on.
150 a month.
I mean,
get it right.
It's something. He didn't have like a. He didn't have like a.
He done got over 1,000.
Hold on.
Over a stack.
Let's
Come
get
on,
some
bro.
order. Let's get some order. What I want to understand is, Miss Middlebrooks, if your testimony is you said it was the ex's baby, how then did you give his name for child support?
That came later on down the line when she was 1. So
You
they
did
found
the child
out much.
support a year later.
Yeah, they found out much before that he was the dad.
At some point, you came clean.
Yes, not even long after that.
Right.
So
did you let your ex raise the baby? Ava's too. Is he like he was at the hospital? You let him raise her?
yes.
Mr. Portis, I want to understand from your vantage point what's happening. She's pregnant. The ex is there. You're just thinking the ex is the child's father. Do you have any contact? Are you calling to check in? What is your relationship at that point? You just completely moved on?
They
honestly,
weren't talking.
we weren't talking. She told me to stop talking to her, don't talk to them,
And you knew
stay
nothing
away.
until you got that summons, which is a year after Ava was born.
Correct.
So this child you've been paying child support for.
Only seen her 4 times in my life.
And I've never seen the baby. But I'm supposed to step up and be a grandmother.
I didn't ask you to step up. I want Brian to
You
the DNA
you
test
you
done.
messaged my phone talking about
What do I
you're
need
some
you
type
to
of
step
grandma
up
and
for?
this and that
What
and
do
the
I
other.
need? Yes, because you're not encouraging him to get the DNA
I've never
test
even
done.
seen.
As his mother, you should encourage him to get the test done.
I did.
Not continue to...
You backed out.
I did.
You
What
didn't
you
encourage
mean?
my
You
son.
backed out.
Lord.
Your Honor, this is the thing.
Girl.
If he was put on child support, why you didn't just go back to the courts, file the paperwork, and take her to court?
Bro,
But
not
do you
real.
understand, Ms. Middlebrooks, when you didn't show up to court, whether you wanted to do it or not, that just fueled his doubt even further.
Yes,
that
I
she's
understand.
trying to avoid something. She's got something to hide.
I understand.
She doesn't want to come clean.
I understand.
It
Just like
just
when he
kept
didn't show
the
up to child support
wheels.
court.
I'm sorry?
Just like when he didn't show up to child support court. That's me you scared, you running. That's how I felt.
No, I wasn't
Running. He
Your Honor,
was
can I
at
say something?
work. Wasn't running.
can't call
Me
off-
not being
you can't call off
experienced,
for work for
me,
one
me not
day.
being experienced with court and everything
I
like that.
was telling my
I didn't
son
know that
to
I was
go
going to be
to
defaulted
court,
as the dad if I
'cause
didn't
that
go.
was what was
I was
gonna
in training.
happen.
I was in training for management, and I didn't know that, like, you know what I'm saying, if I was to miss court, it was going to be this big of a situation.
Oh, yes.
Now I know.
Yes.
But I was inexperienced with all this stuff that was going on at the time.
This is exactly why I tell people, you making babies, you got to understand
Correct.
the system.
Yeah, correct.
So we're here now. With all of this drama, there's still a very real possibility you're Ava's father.
Yes.
And if you're not, you may not be able to get yourself off child support. Because you may have waited too long. That is the court's decision. And the court will follow what is in the best interest of the child. Sometimes we have to learn lessons the hard way.
You're right, Your Honor.
But that doesn't change the fact that we're here now because we don't know for certain who Ava's biological father is. This thing with the ex is a little bit too close for comfort for me. I've heard many a story. And wherever I hear 1 to 2 months, that's a window for error. Jerome, I'm ready. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Portis versus Middlebrooks. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. When it comes to 2-year-old Ava Middlebrooks, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Portis, you are the father. You are Ava's father.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is your beautiful little girl.
Appreciate it.
What do you feel, Miss Middlebrooks? Can you tell me?
She knows. Now she knows.
And that's a relief for you.
That's a relief.
When I said 1 to 2 months is too close for comfort, I saw your face and your body language. You nodded in agreement. I think you knew that there was reason to doubt.
Yeah.
And I think you did what many young girls do, is you played both sides of the coin. You did what we call the double dip. I'm not even laughing because it's out of desperation, because you know you don't know, but you know you want your child to know the dad, so you just entertain them both.
Which wasn't right, because now I've been out this baby life her whole life. Like,
well,
Thing is you gonna step up now?
Now that you know, where do we go from here? I'd like to ask Miss Middlebrooks if it would be okay for Grandma, Miss Trent, Mr. Portis, to meet baby Ava in my chambers. I will be there with you. But I think it's important that they begin to build a bond with this beautiful little girl, because they are the other half of her world that she deserves to know and love. Is that okay? Excellent. Court is adjourned.